Hey guys, it's Aman
and Christina
from Our Rich Journey.
So, on our channel, we talk about financial independence, early retirement, and living and working abroad. For those of you that don't know, we lived and worked abroad in Spain for 2 years. And so this video, we are going to be talking about living in Spain and the cost of living in Spain. And we're also going to talk about the steps that you need to take in order to get a long-term visa to live in Spain beyond 3 months.
So we're going to split this up into two pieces, cost of living and getting a visa to live in Spain. So let's start with cost of living. And we're going to focus on one particular city in Spain, Sevilla, Spain. So when we lived in Spain, we lived in Sevilla, Spain. And so we're quite familiar with it. But for those that don't know, it's in the southern part of Spain in a region called Andalusia.
It's really famous for things like flamenco dancing and bullfighting. It's just a very popular area, a very major city in Spain. So let's first start off with the number one expense in Spain, which is housing. In Sevilla, the housing is actually really reasonable to live in the center of Sevilla. You can get a 1-bedroom apartment for about $800, and that includes all your utilities and internet also.
Now, $800 is the typical price, but of course you can pay less or you can pay more. It just depends on your taste, but $800 is what we found to be average.
So let's talk about the next expense, which is food. So food, again, depends on your preferences, but we average it out to be about $400 a month. Now, this includes all different expenses, not just grocery expenses, but eating out, and wine is huge in Spain, so it includes, drinking, going out, restaurant foods, everything related to food.
I love the food in Spain. I really love the tapas. You can get a tapa for $1 or $2. And you could have a full lunch just on tapas alone. Coffee in Spain is really inexpensive. You can pay about $1 to $2 for a very nice cup of coffee. And of course, there are the bakeries. Oh, we love the bakeries. But bottom line is, for only $400 a month, you can eat really well in Spain.
So let's talk about healthcare costs. So healthcare in Spain is amazing. The World Health Organization ranks it as one of the best in the entire world. When we were there, of course, we used their medical facilities a lot, and we just loved it there.
Yeah, in fact, when you were pregnant, you did a lot of your prenatal stuff in Spain.
Exactly. Once you're registered as a resident in Spain, then you're entitled to their free Spanish healthcare system, but you can also expand your coverage and get private health insurance in Spain also, and it's actually really reasonable. If you get private health insurance in Spain, you can get a basic package that starts at about $35 a person. So 3 of the large providers in Spain for private healthcare include Sanitas, MapFree, and Asisa, and we used MapFree when we were there. They also have a network of English-speaking doctors designed specifically for foreigners that cost just slightly above the basic average cost. So let's talk about transportation. So transportation costs we estimated at $40 a month, and this is because Sevilla is incredibly walkable. You can walk pretty much anywhere in Sevilla, and then on top of that, they have a great bus system. They have buses, they have trams, they have metros, so you really don't need a car at all in Sevilla. And actually the cost for parking and finding space for a car is quite expensive. So it's just easier to use public transportation and to walk.
So let's talk about entertainment. We estimated about $150 a month. And you know what? There's a lot of things that you can do in Sevilla that don't cost a lot of money at all. We love to just go out on the plaza and people watch.
And then finally, we just have an other category for just other additional expenses that can be lumped together. So we estimated that at about $150 a month.
So when you add up the total costs to live in Sevilla, Spain, we'll do it by a couple, because we're together. It will be about $1,700 a month.
So if we've sold you on the idea of living in Spain, the thing you really have to think about is applying for a visa. So let's go through the steps that you need to do, what you need to do in order to apply for a visa. Now, applying for a visa, you basically have to do unless you're an EU citizen. So if you want to stay long-term in Spain, which is longer than 3 months, then you have to apply for a visa. Applying for a visa is basically 2 steps. First, you have to provide proper documentation, and second, you have to do an interview at the Spanish embassy or consulate nearest where you live.
So let's talk about the documentation. Now this can make or break your application. If you don't have your documents in order, it can seriously delay your visa. So let's talk about some of the documents. Let's talk about actually all the documents that would be required.
So we're going to go through the documents, but of course you definitely want to make sure that you're checking in with the Spanish embassy or consulate so that you know that you've got all of the documents that they require, because you might get different requirements from different embassies. So let's go through the documents. A list of documents that you're going to need. You'll need your visa application form, a passport, 2 passport-sized photos, your flight ticket with return flight on it, and then you also have to show that you have medical insurance that provides coverage in Spain. You also need a cover letter that details why you're going to be in Spain. You have to show them that you have hotel or housing accommodations. They also want to see financial documents. So you're going to have to provide income tax returns and bank statements. And then if you also have a pension statement, they're going to want to see that also. And then you're going to have to show a marriage certificate if you have one, and then also a birth certificate.
So the application process is probably the longest process. Once you have all of your documents together, you'll schedule an interview. Actually, you'll be contacted for an interview.
So after you've done all of your documentation, turn that all in, and after you've done your interview, then you are allowed to go to Spain and you can stay there beyond 3 months.
So we can't talk enough about Spain. We actually went back last year and we hope to go back again this year. You know, it's really a great place. After seeing these prices, for only $1,700 a month, a couple can retire in Spain or move to Spain. It's really a great deal. And we hope we shed some light on the visa process. So if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and
join the journey.